From the Denver Broncos Media Center, welcome to Broncos Country Tonight with Ryan Edwards and Benjamin Albright.
Welcome to Broncos Country Tonight. Benjamin Albright off tonight, joined in studio by the great Steve Atwater. What up, Steve?
What up, R. Edwards?
It's good to have you here, man.
Hey, this is good to be here.
Hey, man, how about that press conference? Broncos introduced their coordinators, offensive coordinator Justin Outten, defensive coordinator Ejiro, Evero, and their special teams coordinator Dwayne Stukes. I was pretty impressed.
I was super impressed, man. The energy, the plans that they outlined, the leadership, and the relationships. All the relationships that they have together from over the years. It was really impressive, and I can't wait to see these guys get to working with the players and see what their opinion is of the guys that we have. Because I think they're going to find that we have a lot of talent on this team, and that they have some great pieces to work with.
You know what's really cool right off the bat with Nathaniel Hackett, and it's something that I haven't really ever seen before from a new head coach coming into the building. He actually had the position coaches there. Now, sometimes position coaches have showed up for these kind of press conferences. I'm not saying that they haven't been there, but they're not usually introduced. They're not usually made a part of the whole thing. And he went coach by coach over there in the from the podium down into the crowd and talked about what they brought to the team, how excited he was, how he knows them. It was very personal and personable. And honestly, again, you spend an entire press conference talking about collaboration, an entire press conference talking about how we're working together and with synergy and a family atmosphere. That actually felt like that to me.
Yeah, it definitely felt that way. And, it seemed like he had a relationship with just about everyone.
Yeah.
Every one of the assistant coaches and coordinators, some previous experience. And I think that's great because he knows how those guys respond under pressure. He knows that they respect him. He respects them. And he feels like they can work well together. Now, obviously, there'll come times during the season where there'll be some misunderstandings. But I think with this group of guys, they all seem to have cool heads on their shoulders to where they'll be able to talk through situations and get on the same page and lead from a standpoint of solidarity for the team.
100%. We heard from Ejiro Evero today that they are going to run a 3-4 defense, something you and I have already talked about, sort of the expectation of continuity there on the defensive side. But the one thing that I really loved that he said is that's the baseline of the defensive scheme, but it still starts with the players, and it's important that you build it from the players. Why is that important to you?
Yeah, well, I think it was important to you too. You like that too.
Oh, yeah, I loved it. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, you got to start with the players and the talent that they have. I think right now at this point, when you look at our defensive line, I think our defensive line could add another person that's a dominant person who can rush the passer in addition to help stop the run. But if we stay with this same group, guess what? We're probably going to have a lot of 5-man rushes, a lot of blitzes with bringing 6. But if you can get one more dominant guy up in there, hey, maybe we can hold it down with 4. So that really spoke to me as well. Playing to the strengths of your players, running defenses and designing defenses around the strength of your players. That was music to my ears as well.
Absolutely. I liked also at the beginning of the press conference when Ejiro Evero and Dwayne Stukes were talking. They were talking about championship because they both came from the Rams, and they were talking about the championship mentality. And I think it was Ejiro Evero that said, our expectation, and the goal is to win a championship. And that's why we're here. And Dwayne Stukes was the assistant special teams coordinator out there in Los Angeles, kind of echoed the same thing. And I thought about that, about bringing that kind of personality and coaching immediately into the building after literally just a couple weeks ago winning a championship, and what that means for these players to be around it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be big. And obviously he's going to have to change some mindsets because, most players who play in the NFL, they haven't won a championship, at least at the college level, maybe not even at the high school level, and then not at the NFL level either. So, they'll have to galvanize the guys and just have a whole different mentality, knowing that they're working together, that they can trust each other, and that they're playing for one another. They're not playing for themselves. They're not playing for stats. But if they go out and each individually be the best player that they're going to be, that they can be, that this team is going to be much better this year than they were last year.
But Evero also said that part of the reason they were able to have so much success with the Rams and win that championship is they had a plan and they sort of stuck to it, right? Mm-hmm. And he said, that you're going to have challenges through that, but you have to believe in what you are about and what you said you were going to be about. What does that mean to you? Because, again, as a guy that's won championships, how does that translate to how your teams operated, having that plan coming into the season and being able to sort of stay the course?
Yeah, well, I think you have an overall plan, but I think he also meant that being a smart coach means that you make smart adjustments, but you don't stray totally away from the overall big plan. I think that's really what he was getting toward, not necessarily just, all right, keep on hitting your head up against the wall and if it's not working, just keep trying to do it. You got to make some slight adjustments. You may have to make adjustments with players. You may have to make adjustments with the actual scheme or play calls, but you just keep on making the small adjustments along the way. And if you have a strategy that works, that's been proven, then you have the confidence going in and you can tell your guy, hey, this is what worked for us last year. You can pull out film and show them that this works. You just got to be able to do it at this level. I think the buy-in will be received from the players, and that's the first obstacle is getting buy-in from the players.
Yeah, absolutely, and buy-in was a big part of the conversation too, and connection. They all talked about Nathaniel Hackett's ability to connect, and that's something that, again, not as a direct correlation to anything that's happened here before, but more of this is what it's about. This is how head coaches, this is how coaching staffs all are going to be able to have success, and this is how players go out there on the field and play harder. It's that extra, whatever percentage you want to assign, extra 10% that we always talk about. It's like, hey, when things are at their worst, where are you going to dig deep at? And it's playing for people, playing with people that you believe in.
Yeah, and that's not foreign to football. It's not foreign to any really great organization, is having great communication at every level of the organization. It starts from the top. And, certainly if your coaches can have great relationships, great communications with the players, and the players can have great communication among themselves, again, they're not playing for themselves. They're playing for their fellow teammate and for the coaches and for the city of Denver. It becomes much more special. You tend to work harder when it's not just about you, I think.
I think that's exactly right. And certainly as far as the plan here, what we think the assessment of this team and the coaching staff, I'm really intrigued to see if it all comes together. But again, like a lot of people point to, they got to figure out the quarterback. So this is all great. It's all very exciting. But the quarterback decision still looms.
Yeah, but, aren't you confident in what you said last week?
Yeah, well, what is that? What did I say last week?
Well, you said Aaron Rodgers is coming.
Oh, did I say that? I don't remember. I guess people have to go listen to BroncosCountryTonight.com. For Steve Atwater, I'm Ryan Edwards. Thanks for watching.